Hello friends, welcome to the first lecture of Strength of Material. I am Professor Sanjay Bhadke and today we are going to discuss about the introduction to the basic terminology related to the strength of material, and our today's topic is stress and strain. These are the some content of our today's topic. First is the introduction, general definition, what do you mean by stress and strain, the various types of stress and strain, yield limit and modulus of elasticity. Friends, you know that engineering mechanics is the subject which is related with the basic concept. This way we have another subject is the strength of material. Basically the strength of material, this subject is the advanced branch of mechanics and is deal with the behavior of solid object which is related to the stresses and strain. The study of strength of material is often referred to the various methods of calculating the stresses and strain in structural member such as beam, column and shaft, which is very useful for the design of various parts of machine and various building structures. So before starting what do you mean by stress and strain, we are going to discuss some basic definition. First is a rigid body. A body is defined as say rigid when distance between 2 points never change what were the force applied on it. Particularly there is no rigid body. But practically when we apply the load on any body, the body will change its shape and size. But in nature there are some bodies which never change its shape and size due to the application of loads. That particular bodies is called as the rigid bodies. Next, what do you mean by the deformable body? You can understand by seeing this picture in the PPT what do you mean by the deformable body. A deformable body is defined as a body on which the distance between 2 points change under the action of some forces when applied on it. And the study of the property of this body is called as the elasticity. Basically, what do you mean by the elasticity? For example, if we are applying any load on any body, this body will change its shape and size. But if suddenly, if you remove the load, the body will come back to its original shape. You just take the example of packing rubber. It having the properties of elasticity. So deeply we can say elasticity is the property of body by virtue of which it tends to retain its original shape and size when deforming force is removed. All solids shows the properties of elasticity, and basically in strength of material when we are going to solve some numericals, we have to consider some constant values of elasticity. For example, for every material the value of elasticity will be different. The constant value normally we take as 2 into 10 raised to 5 Newton per mm square. Next, what do you mean by stress? Basically, stress is related with the force. If you want to define the stress, stress can be an applied force or a system of force that tends to deform a body, or simply we can say that stress is the ratio of force per unit area. Normally, we are denoting the stress by a Greek word of sigma, and mathematically we said that stress is the ratio of force into cross sectional area, means sigma is equal to force divided by cross sectional area. Finally, sigma is equal to F by A. There are various types of stress. Normally, stress can be divided in two parts. One is normal stresses, second is tangential traces. The trace developed in the body depend upon how the external force are applied over it. On this basis, there are following two types. Those already I told you. Second, normal trace. As already we defined as trace is the force per unit area, and if we consider the force as a axial force and area as a cross sectional area, in that case normal trace is the ratio of axial force to the cross sectional area. As shown in this diagram, we can say that sigma is equal to P by A, where P can be noted as axial force and A can be noted as cross sectional area. Again, these normal traces can be divided into two parts. First is tensile traces and second one is compressive traces. Then what do you mean by the tensile traces? The tensile traces can be defined when we applied the load on any body and that body can be moved in tensile direction. In that case, we can take the example of universal testing machine. This type of machine can be used to calculate the various tensile traces, longitudinal traces on various material that we are using in the construction. For example, steel, that is called as the iron rod, or any concrete material. When we applied the load on this particular material, that material will be expand in a tensile direction. That particular trace is called as the tensile trace. Every material has some characteristics and properties. So now we are going to discuss about these various properties and behavior of the material. First, ductile behavior. Okay. If you want to see the behavior of material as ductile, this figure shows the various types of copper wire. A ductility is a solid material ability to deform under the tensile traces. As shown in the diagram, the copper wire having the ductility properties. Then compressive stress. Already in previous slide I discussed about the universal testing machine. When we applied a force on any particular material, for example concrete material or brick material as shown in the figure, and a force that attempt to squeeze or compress the material, then that particular force is called as the compressive force, and the traces which are developed is called as the compressive traces. Next is tangential traces. When we applied a load on a body and body will tends in a tangential direction, then that particular force is called as a tangential force, and the traces which are developed in tangential direction is called as a tangential traces. Normally tangential traces, this term is related with the calculation of various types of angles as shown in the figure. Second one is the, what do you mean by brittle behavior of the material? Actually, if we take the practical example, we know that suddenly if we applied a load on any body, that body will be broken into the number of pieces. That particular load application process is called as the brittle behavior of the material. You take the example of glass. If we are applying a sudden load on any glass, the glass will be broken in the number of pieces. That particular properties, characteristics of material is called as the brittle behavior. So now we are going to discuss about the strain. Basically strain is denoted by the Greek word epsilon, that's small e. It is called as the epsilon. Strain is the ratio of change in the dimension to the original dimension, or strain may be defined as the ratio of change in the length to the original length. You take any example of elastic material or any other material. If you are applying the load any body, the body will change its shape and size. Okay? So when you are going to calculate the strain for particular body, that can be calculated as a ratio of change in the dimension to the original dimension of that particular body. As all these values can be calculated in centimeters or mm, and strain is a ratio, that's why strain is a dimensionless material. So now we are going to discuss about the various types of strain. Basically in nature there are three types of strain. One is longitudinal strain, second one is volumetric strain, and third is shearing strain. Since the deforming force can produce three types of deformation, for example change in the length, change in volume, change in shape in a body, so due to this it can be having following types as discussed earlier. Next, what do you mean by longitudinal strain? Basically longitudinal strain is the ratio of change in length to the original length. As shown in the slide, if we consider small l is the change in the length and capital L is the original length, then in that case the longitudinal strain mathematically can be calculated as a ratio of small l to the capital L. Then volumetric strain. So we all know what do you mean by volume. Okay? If we want to calculate the volume mathematically, it can be calculated as length into breadth into the height. Okay? So in that case we will get the volume. But then what do you mean by the volumetric strain? The volumetric strain, this term is related with the volume and it is the ratio of change in volume to the original volume. If we consider that delta V is the change in volume and capital V is the volume, then in that case mathematically volumetric strain can be calculated as delta V divided by V. The next type is shearing strain. Is when deforming force produces change in the shape of the body and it is measured by a particular angle theta or any other terminology, and that value can be calculated in the radian or degrees. That particular change is called as a shearing strain. So student, today we are discuss about the basic terminology related to our strength of material. So before starting the actual syllabus, it is important that you should understand the basic definitions. What do you mean by stress? What do you mean by strain? And what are the various types of stress and strain and how mathematically it can be calculated. Thank you.